Hey, what's up, guys? Zander from the movie stand.
Max from the movie stand.
We just got out of seeing Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah!
And if you didn't know, this is a continuation of the 2014 Godzilla movie.
You're damn right.
That Lionsgate put out, and Warner Brothers is like the American one. And then Kong Skull Island is part of the same universe.
Yeah, which I didn't know, honestly.
You didn't know? You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it, sadly, but I want to see it now.
It's pretty good.
I want to see it.
So, the movie starts off basically not recapping, but showing the events of San Francisco with the Muto from the first movie, showing that again.
And the aftermath
from a different perspective. Yeah, and just that was kind of cool because, like, you know, how are you gonna open this movie? That's the thing. Like, how do you open a monster movie? Because you have to care about the humans at some level.
Exactly, because they're part of what makes it work too. Like, as always with any Godzilla movie, there's a human side that you have to show.
Yeah.
And before I go on, it's kind of funny how they were complaining about, oh, there wasn't enough human interaction. There was. There was some.
I saw some critics complaining that the human interaction did not feel like. Wasn't substantial enough, but I'm like, it's a monster movie, guys.
Exactly.
It's a monster movie.
The focus is the monsters. It's called Godzilla, King of the Monsters, not Godzilla and the people, man. I mean, they are important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like trying to like shut them down or anything. Shut them down.
And another complaint I was saying is that there's too many monsters, but it's again,
it's Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Yeah. It's about fighting monsters, and I mean, not all of them got to really be fighting down the line, but the ones that really had the fought, and it was really cool.
But here's the thing: they complained about with the first movie there wasn't enough Godzilla. I'm like, well, I like the slower pacing of the first movie. You know, like how they're just like, oh, we're gonna take our time and show Godzilla when we really want to.
Yeah, and
that's kind of cool.
They showed Godzilla at great times too. They built up that, hey, the threat he's going up against isn't gonna be that easy.
Yeah,
he's going up against his arch nemesis even since the old movies.
King Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah, aka my favorite Godzilla monster besides Godzilla himself.
Did they fight 3 times in this movie?
I think they did. And both were just huge romps. Like the heads being ripped off of King Ghidorah blasting Godzilla, carrying him into the sky.
Me not knowing really any lore of Godzilla. Like,
yeah. And
head regrowth, regeneration, let's go!
I didn't realize that either, and he's like my favorite. Because, I mean, yeah, he showed up in multiple movies before, but I never saw that actual head regeneration. Like, what?
And then Mothra was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, Mothra was awesome and actually did great in this movie. It wasn't just kind of like, oh, let me show up sometimes. No, Mothra actually was very important. I mean, don't get me wrong, she was important in the other movies as well, but she did more, too. She incapacitated Rodan, like the big pterodactyl.
Yeah, Rodan was there.
Yeah.
So we have King Ghidorah, we have Godzilla, we have Mothra, we have Rodan, we have the Muto.
Yeah, with the Muto, and then like some new ones, which was like a giant mammoth. Yeah. And I think, I'm a bad fan because I don't remember the name of this guy, but I think he was in other movies. He was this huge spider. Yeah, I think he was in Godzilla Final Wars as well.
I don't know. I've only seen the American Godzillas, and not the 99 one.
Final Wars was in, like, I think 2004. Really fucking good, though. You have to see it. It's cool. Anyway, yeah, it had all those guys.
Which surprisingly, Go ahead.
I love all the monsters being there. I feel like Legendary did a great job in capturing their essence while also amplifying it too. And I saw like a little snippet before we came here and I said, sometimes bigger isn't better. Shut up. Screw you. I mean, honestly, yeah, have your opinion, but honestly, if you're having giant monsters duke it out, go big or go home. Come on.
Surprisingly, the human story was pretty decent. Like,
it had a whole family struggle in it.
I didn't expect it to be weak, but I didn't expect it to be super strong, as it is a monster movie made just for monster movies.
Exactly. You know? And yet it had a good family dynamic struggle with, like, oh, the mother wants to release the monsters, or at least got captured, you know, by the eco-terrorists to release.
No, she didn't get captured. She got captured.
Oh, she joined willingly. Yeah. That's right. She joined willingly, released them, and then even the child's like, you're an asshole. You're disgusting. Goodbye.
I mean, you have some real talent in your cast.
Yeah.
And There was some moments in the human story where it was like, oh, that's kind of a lull. Like,
yeah,
that was kind of slow.
Yeah, it kind of slowed things down at some points, but not all of them. And I like that they also had the military. Like, I mean, the military has always been a thing in Godzilla movies. Mm-hmm. But I love, like, the final part where they have Godzilla and the whole military going to fight King Ghidorah.
I never knew that King Ghidorah was an alien.
Yeah, King Ghidorah is an alien. Monster
Granted,
Zero.
I don't know the lore, so who knows?
Yeah, Monster Zero came from space, crashed in the Earth, and yeah, King Ghidorah. Wow. And his buddy Gigan, but he wasn't here.
He could be in the universe, though.
Oh god, I hope they put Gigan. He has a buzzsaw stomach! A buzzsaw stomach and hooks for hands!
Okay, maybe that can't be put into an American PG-13 movie.
No, do it. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, dude, there was decapitation in this movie. Come on.
So, the little bit of Godzilla I know there's also Mecha Godzilla. Maybe that could happen, but I also don't think that will.
I mean, one of them was made by people.
Well, yeah, that's probably Mecha Godzilla.
The third Mecha Godzilla called Kiryu.
But I'm like, it could happen.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that.
You have the Let Them Fight guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, but he really pulled through in the end because without him, without his sacrifice, detonating the bomb.
That whole sequence was super cool.
That was fucking awesome with like the underwater city and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Going into a little
it reminded me of like
trivia.
When we first saw it, I thought of Atlantis.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting into. The original 1998 Godzilla. The
original 1998 one?
Yeah, the
Matthew Broderick one?
The Matthew Broderick, that's a lot of fish one.
I haven't seen it.
Originally, the big plan before like they came up with whatever they came up with, that was supposed to be Godzilla either coming from or living in Atlantis.
Ooh.
And like there would be some other monster, I think called the Griffin, that he would fight against in that movie, but
that's interesting.
They didn't go with that. But I think that might have been why they had this underwater city. Was like kind of like an homage to that unused bit of story. And
in their montages of this piece for any Monarch thing, they had King Kong in there, which is pretty cool. Yeah. They connected officially,
and it was cool because they also showed like during the credits like the King Kong versus Godzilla hieroglyph
in the color credits and so there's color credits and then there's the other credits. They had newspaper clippings, and it was telling the events of after this movie. It was, like if you read the headlines, they were following this movie in terms of how some things were bettering and how there was conflict rising on Skull Island, which is setting up for King Kong versus Godzilla, which is probably going to be called God versus Kong versus Godzilla. That's probably what it's going to be called.
I want to see it.
Or Godzilla versus Kong. It's something like that. It's going to have versus in the title because that's the easiest way to sell it, like a title match. But that's going to be the next movie, which is like, wait. Oh, King Kong is not stronger or taller or anything more than Godzilla.
What if they buff him up?
That could happen.
Because I know in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, I mean, that movie was originally supposed to be Frankenstein versus Godzilla, believe it or not.
That would have been very bizarre.
Very. But that's besides the point. What I'm really excited about was that post-credits. And I usually am like, not everything needs a post-credits, but this one got me pumped.
It was the head of Ghidorah.
Yeah, it was the head of Ghidorah. We thought it disappeared, but it's sitting there.
That has to be the second head. Because
it must be, but you know why?
Because the first head was blown apart by the atomic breath.
No, I know that.
Dude, the powers of Godzilla in this movie.
They're intense, and they're so cool! Oh my god, and you know what's great too? Because that whole thing about Godzilla going nuclear like an atom bomb explosion is also another callback to Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, which I forget what year came out, but the whole big plot behind that was Godzilla's heart was an atom bomb, and it was going to explode and destroy the world.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal too much after that, but that's part of the plot. And, oh my god, I was like, no way, that's incredible. But this time, it was kind of like more controlled. He could actually control that power and let it out. I think, which had to do with Mothra's sacrifice as well, which might have helped him not, explode completely, but like actually use that power to fight. Oh my god, that finisher on King Ghidorah, like, Jesus Christ, blows him to shreds, when he stomps on him, takes his head and blows it up in his atomic breath. When he was doing that,
like, I just thought, finisher, that's a finisher.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing.
If for some reason you needed to put Godzilla into Mortal Kombat, that's his finisher. That's his finisher.
Yeah.
That would make no
Takes
sense.
the head.
That would make no sense to do, but that's his finisher.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Turn it into Transformers Devastation, but like make it a Godzilla. You know.
Yeah, like this movie had its slow moments, but honestly, those action-packed moments made it so worth it. And even the slow moments had great story between the family of the main characters, and I really liked that.
Some of the things I was disappointed in was
What's that?
the score from the trailers were not actually in the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame.
But they brought in some silent moments. I was like,
yeah.
yes.
One of my favorite things too was when when Godzilla came back, they brought it back as theme, like. And
also, whenever they did the atomic breath, it usually ended up being silent.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine how powerful that is. It would probably
but it used to have sound in the 2014 movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like iconic, you know. It is. But like, they used it in this way, similar how in The Last Jedi you had Holdo blast.
Yeah, Holdo blasting through the
ships, and it was a silent. And like that silence, if you use it correctly, can be really powerful, and it was really strong.
Exactly, because especially when you see it again, like, oh, look at it, it's hitting King Ghidorah right there.
Yeah. There was a lot of cool moments in this movie.
It really
to deny that, it's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
And people are like, some people are like, too many monsters, and some people are like, too many people. I thought it was good. I thought it was really
pretty
fun.
Solid. I mean, it's a monster movie.
Exactly.
Like, speaking of monster movies, you know, he was in this. I think I'm right. I think I'm correct on this.
Yeah.
He was in the Pacific Ocean. That's where their base was.
Yeah. Right? Castle Bravo.
Yeah. But you know how when he went down to the radiation level, there was that line of like orange?
I think so. Yeah.
You ever see Pacific Rim?
Not really.
And then there's the Rift. That's a line of orange.
But that sounds awfully familiar, though.
Because this is in Pacific Rim. And it's
oh my god! Imagine if they crossover.
And they're both done in Legendary. Yeah. What if there's like multiple dimensions via the Rift?
Yeah.
This is all fan theory because people want to see Pacific Rim inside the Godzilla universe, and I don't think it really works.
Yeah, but
you know, who knows?
You never know.
Who knows?
It could be just a little detail, an homage, or a hint at a future thing. You never know when them.
That'd be pretty insane. After Uprising, I don't know how they could do that smoothly.
Exactly, especially when their whole thing is fighting kaiju rather than
you would have
to.
Well, that's the thing. If it's a multiverse type thing, you know.
Yeah.
Or you could say that Pacific Rim's way in the future or something. I don't know how you can.
Yeah, you never
you do
know.
all this.
I mean, they had all this tech and stuff. And I gotta mention too, that there's so many great callbacks. And one of the weapons they used, you remember when they blew up Godzilla and they almost killed him the first time? The oxygen destroyer.
I was like, how do you build that weapon? Here, first, why do you build that weapon?
You know,
like, why?
To kill Godzilla, because no. The thing is, in the first movie, in the first ever Godzilla movie, that's what they use, spoiler alert, to kill Godzilla.
Mm.
In the very first one, in like the 50s, the original Gojira, they used the oxygen destroyer to take him out in the sea. Except it wasn't a bomb. Well, I mean, it was, but it was more of like it dissolved him in the original. Like one of the scientists went in, they set it up, and it dissolved Godzilla and turned him into bones. So in other words, the oxygen destroyer is another thing that's been in the canon. And it's something crazy. And the reason why it didn't kill King Ghidorah is because
he's not from Earth.
He's not from Earth. He's not an oxygen life form. I mean, of course he's breathing there, but he's not an oxygen or I guess carbon-based life form like Godzilla, where, you know, he's more of a mutation. Actually, yeah. Regardless.
So out of 5 stars, what do you give this movie?
I give it a 4.5. I really liked it. I think it lived up for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4 just because there's some music things I wish were in there, you know, like and there's a bit more. I think it could have been polished up just a tiny bit.